Hi.
Welcome back, ladies. Hi, everybody. Um, Welcome back to Embervale. Last session, our heroes were presented with a weapon by their friend JD. Upon inspection of the dagger, it was determined that the Sylvan on the blade read King Killer. While comparing the weapon to the jewels Izzy received earlier, there was a close similarity. Fee attempted to speak with JD through the Speak with Animals spell, however, it didn't quite get far until it was determined that JD was not a normal animal. More research was needed for the blade. So they headed across town to meet with Izzy's friend, the term was used loosely, Persephone. They met her in her shop, the Dying Ember, a lovely tea shop that she owns. After more favor trading and strained negotiations, the group was informed that the blade was elf made and most likely not by any smith in town. It also looked completely unused, practically new. After deciding that they will perhaps have to leave the city, Fee says she wants to say goodbye to her family first. Accompanied by her friends, Fee finds the traveling caravan group. A sleepover with much drink and fire jumping ensues. The group also procures Harold the chicken during the festivities. In the night, Mina hears quite disturbing whispers, but it is able to shake the old shadow after some vigorous praying. After returning home, Mira asks Izzy to head to the city center where the king is going to make a speech. Once there, the group listens in as the king promises to rally the troops and take down the new evil queen. It is also announced that he has a new love, Flower, who is already pregnant. The old queen's effects are to be loaded onto a barge to be burned in a ceremony that night. What else is the group to do but barge onto the barge? Wisely, our ladies decided to wait until nightfall and sneak onto the ship in the cover of night. Once aboard, all hell breaks loose. The fire is started faster than expected, and the boat begins to sail down the river, a floating effigy with a trio of very concerned sleuths aboard. While Izzy does nothing but investigate, the other two switch between searching and keeping the boat from collapsing. Some lucky and some and not so lucky rolls later, the women have some clues and treasures in hand. They bail at the last moment and manage to make it to shore with low health and very confused minds. And that's where we are. You guys are on the bank of the Embervale River. Just outside the city limits, you have passed the city walls. You are watching on as the ship, little by little, is sinking deeper into this river, and the currents is dragging any debris down onward. The fire eating basically anything that's left above water. And you guys, dripping, soaking, and not doing great health wise, make it up to the bank.
Not
I
really
would like.
environmentally safe for all that stuff to just float down the river, but okay, that's just my opinion.
Well, it's a very young island. We haven't really gotten to our eco-conscious phase yet.
Easy, easy, easy. Come here. Come here. And I cast Cure Wounds.
Yeah, because I look rough as shit.
Yeah, she looks horrible.
My hair is burnt
Okay.
half off, like I've got a weird undercut situation going on.
Oh god, your mom's gonna kill us.
I need my
Okay,
own
I'm
place.
friends with Mother. Be fine. Come
You're
here.
friends with her mother.
Okay, I toddle over as best I can. 6. Okay, so that's
Okay.
brings me up
so
to
a
10.
6 plus my spellcasting ability.
You could cast the spell
modifier.
if you go to the spell and then
Oh,
then
Derp.
cast, like, click on it and then
Oh.
cast, and it should let you.
Look at that.
Yeah, and it'll add everything.
Oh.
Oh, so
Well, that
so
made
8.
it worse.
No, that's the right
'cause-
thing. So it should be
I know.
your
You
1d8.
still rolled a 6.
Yeah, you still rolled a 6.
Oh, but okay, I'm gonna sound really stupid right now.
Mhm.
My spellcasting ability modifier, is that my spell save DC or my spell attack bonus?
It's the charisma, so it's the 2, so +2.
Oh, it's just my charisma?
Yeah, so your spell save DC is different. The modifier is already added to the spells.
Because you're a paladin,
Yeah.
it goes off of your charisma.
Yeah.
Charisma is a 4, though, in saving throws. I just want to make sure that you get as much as I can give you. Because if the 6 plus my charisma is higher...
No, your
then
charisma's
I was
2.
gonna be
It's
like,
the one in the box.
Yeah.
2? Why am I not seeing this?
On the core,
On the core page,
left,
not the spell
charisma.
page.
It says 2.
Ah.
Not your
Okay.
saving throw. You're just on the
Okay.
left. Your charisma
Just your
is
plus, your charisma modifier.
Your +2.
Still
Alright,
though,
anyone that's listening to this, sorry about that.
You're fine.
D&D mechanics, gotta love them.
Samantha's.
Okay.
This is your what, second campaign, and
Yeah.
the
Yep.
first one was like baby's first D&D because
You're-
I was terrible. Anyway,
You were not terrible, but I was a bard. I don't know, it's different. Anyway, okay.
actually, that would still go off of your charisma. Anyway,
It still
Derp,
brought
derp,
me
derp,
up
derp.
from 4 to
know
12, like out of 16.
yeah,
so
you did a good chunk of.
That's a real
healing
good
on-
roll, man.
That's some
Yeah.
So,
sexy
in
healing.
other words,
yeah.
I just come up and I like fix your hair and like lick my hand and rub on your face to get sick.
You got some schmutz on your
Ugh.
cheek.
As you're doing, like, I feel the magic transfer from you, like through your hands.
You're
like,
still just like a little grossed out.
Whoa! That's a really neat trick. God.
You kind of feel a little bit of
Yes.
like home.
Yes, I fix. You look horrible.
Is my mother?
Now you look fine. You
No,
look more like
my hair is still
Fine.
definitely singed off on one side.
There will be
I
some
cannot
explanations
fix that.
needed for your mother.
Yeah.
That's okay. We are best friends. I can explain.
I'll,
Very
she'll
well.
probably.
That's right.
I'll probably just lean into the old rebellious teenager. That will probably be it. She won't even really need much besides that.
You're not a teenager though.
We
According to my
tell-
mother,
yeah.
I'm still 12. Or at least
Oh,
she
okay.
treats me. so.
Which isn't a
Tell
teenager
mother.
either, but whatever.
Exactly. I don't even really
Tell
have that.
mother.
Okay. Who's
Maybe we have take you for get date in the date have dragon. Go and your hair is ruined. It is what you do. Your mother be happy.
also
Oh,
probably,
you had a date with a dragon. Okay.
or
And
Yeah,
he
they
Or-
go,
something else you'd
To the
probably honestly
fire.
believe more is that I fell asleep reading up some shipping manifests and things like that and was slept a little too close to the candle.
Okay,
That
it's
sounds
better.
a lot more believable. It's better.
It's better.
One of us has a
Okay,
+4 to
fine.
deception. Even
You
though
know, to me. Clear.
I went back and listened to some of the lies I told, and Jesus, they were bad. But works out. Okay.
Okay, so you've healed up Izzy, so she's got a little bit more to her. You guys are still dripping wet. You've jumped off this burning boat. You guys are clutching at your bags that you had on you, where you stuffed most of the stuff you got off the ship.
Clutching at shit. I didn't find shit.
Oh yeah. Except,
I'm just sitting there like a soaking
except
wet.
Fee, who got burnt, and that was about
Yes.
it.
But you were a part of the
She
team.
got she built character while everybody else was finding stuff.
You helped give Fee help. You helped Fee, so that's the most. I found one thing because my other thing got ruined in the water. So
Yeah. I just keep telling myself, like, I gave guidance so Izzy
Yeah,
could
you
find all the
guys-
shit, so...
So
that was very helpful.
So kind of like comparing what you guys got, you got some kind of bag with patchwork fabric on it, a stone skull with emeralds as eyes, like it's like the size of like your palm, the middle of your palm. It's not very big. I think Fee grabbed the ledger, but it was damaged in the water a little bit.
That would have been Mina. I grabbed nothing.
Mina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was me.
Grabbed the ledger, but it got damaged by the water a little bit. But it's not like completely lost. And then Izzy got the what looked like shipping manifests.
Mhm.
So
I also got
it is
some burnt
Written on
stuff,
the
a
thing.
patchwork bag as well,
that's what the bag was. Yep.
and
That
then
was the
shipping
bag.
manifest.
And some burnt
And then
shit.
I did get that nat 20 at the end to make sure that all of my stuff was fine.
Yeah, all of your stuff was fine. So really, it was only just Mina's stuff that got a little damaged.
Bad.
Yeah, you were supposed to jump in and hold it
Oh,
above the water, of course.
Bad.
That's what you're supposed to think
We
about
all
when you're
get it-
driving off of a burning boat.
You know, first boat
Yeah.
heist, everybody gets excited.
But it is you are in the middle of the forest out here. You can kind of see the city wall in the distance, but you don't have a lot of light out here, so it's not like you can really inspect this stuff much. You kind of are just clutching to this stuff so you don't lose it. But you're still outside the city.
Okay, I think maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think perhaps what we need to do right now is, I think we should build like a camp with a fire to just warm ourselves up a little bit, dry off, and then once we don't look like we just came out of a river that the fire barge was in, then maybe we can try and make it back up through the city to get home. Any other plans or ideas? Girls?
I think
I
that sounds
follow
fine
you.
to me.
It's fine. I'm wet.
Yeah, no, that's
Annoying.
that's the whole idea, is to build the fire to help us, like, we'll maybe go into the forest a little bit so that
So you guys are just gonna kind of stick around
That's a good
here,
idea.
but stay in the forest a little bit.
yeah, like kind of away from the wall into the forest a little bit so that we're not like too visible from the wall. Like they'd probably see the smoke coming through the forest if they looked hard enough for it, but like I think that having just like a little small campfire
Okay.
to warm up might be the
Question.
best option. Yeah.
Is better we enter city again in day or is better in night?
Maybe I didn't bring
What
any.
do you think?
My boats might still be underneath the pier, so I'd like to try and get back to that as soon as I can.
Okay, it's a good idea.
I think if we dry off a little bit. Oh, fuck. I feel like finally start feeling my head. Does anybody have a hat I could maybe wear to get back in? Because, I mean, that's definitely going to look like I've been on the fire, but if my hair is burnt off.
Do not have hat, but I have scarf.
Perfect. I'll wrap it around. It'll be perfect.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Me?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Oh. It would be
Okay,
a 10.
so you managed to wrap it around your head. It's not the best knot or anything like that. You've got these little stray kind of like wisps that look like they've been kind of singed, sticking out a little bit, but it doesn't match your outfit, but damn, does it cover your head.
Good. Perfect. That's really what I needed. Okay, well then yeah, so I think we should build like a little fire and then maybe like take a long rest. Oh, maybe just a short rest. And then
So it's evening because they wanted to light the barge when it was dark.
yeah.
So it's still and you weren't on the boat for terribly long. So it's still kind of early evening, but dark enough that you can stay hidden a little bit. But it's not like late night.
Okay, so I have a question, and this is based off of the way the map looks. Does the city wall run along those houses as well, or are they just like the forest is like open to the forest and there's no wall?
Oh, there is a wall. I just couldn't put it in there.
Okay, so
like I have to move
Makes
some of
sense.
the trees and stuff like that.
So
it's
okay.
along. It surrounds the noble district.
And logistically, we are on the other side.
Yep.
Okay. All right, yeah, then I stand by maybe we dry off and look like we weren't on a fire barge before we try going back into the city.
Okay, so you guys try and start a like little camp to dry off at least here, not too far from the river. As you're setting up, you start to hear something in the woods. You've been collecting wood and that kind of thing and stacking it, and you hear kind of the bushes nearby start rustling.
Okay. Do you all hear that? Yes.
There is
Do
something
you have
nearby.
owl bears in this country?
Look, I don't. Listen. I'm much better on the other side of that wall when it comes to knowing what's around here.
Mm.
like, if you needed to know about the different gangs and the different factions, I could go on and on. But I'm not a country girl, as they would say. So,
Uh, as you're trying to explain yourself, the bush starts to like rustle a little bit more violently.
I'm gonna take out my rapier, and I'm going to say pointing it at the bush, and I'm going to say calmly and clearly, "Listen, you thing, or animal person. I do not wish any harm from you, nor should you have any from me." I'm puffing my chest out, trying to look bigger.
Meanwhile, I'm 5'6", standing down, looking down at this halfling next to me, going, "She's so precious."
Show yourself. Make thyself known.
And suddenly, Schooner falls out of the bush.
Oh, you motherfucker!
Whoa! Put away the blade, lady.
Don't scare me
kinda-
like that. In the middle of the woods at night, Russell, you think I'm not going to get scared?
Well, to be fair, none of you were supposed to be out here. What in blazes are you doing out here?
You know this
Getting
person?
work. Yeah.
What is this thing?
Do you remember the contact I told you that I needed to wait for?
Yes.
This is the guy.
Oh,
Yeah, so
you are the mysterious person.
We are just making some fried eggs from our chicken.
Have you heard of my goddess?
Give me a deception check.
Oh, goodness.
Schooner looks around, is quite confused. He does see the chicken. Wait, no, did you take Harold? I can't remember.
Home.
No, Harold's at home.
I
Never
didn't
mind.
want to
He
drown
doesn't
him.
see the chicken. Never mind. You don't have evidence. So he looks around. He doesn't see a pan. He barely sees a fire.
Listen, Schooner. I know what it looks
two eggs
like.
out of my bag.
So
You don't
I'm sure we were probably here for
have
the
it.
same purpose, right? You wanted the let's cut the shit, as they would say, right? So we were on the fire barge, and I'm sure you might have been as well. Or were you just
No,
planning?
it wasn't on the fire barge. I was waiting for it to sink. It wasn't supposed to sink that far down. They lit the fire a lot faster than we had planned.
What were
This
you-
was supposed to be. This was supposed to be what you were supposed to pick up.
What were you planning on, like, actually getting if you were gonna wait for it to sink to the bottom?
Well, to be fair, they weren't supposed to light it on fire. We were going to take it before they could get to any sort of thing. This was supposed to be sent off, and this, basically, all the stuff on it was supposed to be sent off to be destroyed elsewhere. Somebody in the council said it would be a great,
Oh, God, those scholar bastards.
they wanted to do
Oh,
some kind of
that's-
ceremony as if like cleansing the earth. A bunch of weird things
Yeah.
that those
No.
council people
Symbolic
say.
thing.
Yeah,
So what did
we were going to take it before it got too far and act like it sank. This was supposed to be, kind of a job for you, which obviously has gone completely awry. By the way, do you still have the jewels on you?
Oh yeah. Do you need the necklace back?
Yeah, I'm gonna need that back. Big Mama's wants basically a refund out of this whole hassle.
That-
This is
Honestly,
just gone up the creek in so many bad ways, and I don't mean that
completely.
as a pun.
No, completely understand. And I give him the necklace back.
Okay, he takes it carefully and stows it away.
Mm.
He kind of like
Okay.
handles it as if it's like like poisoned, like he's afraid to touch it, kind of thing.
Don't be caught with that. Apparently, they don't want it out there.
Mm.
Unlike some random people in the woods trying to cook eggs, I'm a little bit more careful than that. Thanks.
Okay, so don't always. I got nervous. So Schooner, I do have you worked directly near the old queen, yeah?
I worked in the Queen's wing. Yeah.
What was it like the last couple of days? I guess before she was taken prisoner.
Well, I didn't work close to her. I was more on the laundry side of things, if you know what I mean.
Sure,
But
but
it
surely there was
wasn't
a vibe, right?
Well, the vibe always there is quite somber and quiet. She's always been a more to herself kind of person. She's smart, as far as I remember. I wasn't there when she was brought in as a ward, but from what I knew from some of the older folks that worked there, she was quite smart and well versed in things. Like she knew just as much as the scholars, even though she never took the test. There was talk about nobody letting her take it, but I wasn't part of those circles. But she was different, but not a bad person as far as I understood. I only met her once or twice, and that was quick.
There word of her knowing about the king's paramour.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, you mean the cute thing that with blonde and now it's got a bun in the oven?
Awfully convenient, but yes.
What? Well, I mean, I'm not one to, talk too much about that sort of thing. And he kind of like looks away.
Oh, come on. Schooner. Pull up next to the fire and chat with us.
He looks to the fire, which is barely been built, and it's kind of like some like failed attempts and some embers, but he's like, I'm okay. Also, there's still no eggs, and he says, look, there's a reason that the Queen's Wing was the Queen's Wing. In his little speech about never consummating, he wasn't lying. Nobody really confirmed them being together. And after 3 years, usually a kid pops out by now. Now, the little blonde, she was around the castle, but I didn't see her until recently. So, I don't know where he's been hiding her, but what are we supposed to question in that respect?
Is she a human? Is she magic?
Emma Flower? The girl you saw on the stage, she appeared very human.
But she could do a trick.
Oh, you mean like people who can change how they look?
Maybe she is actually bear. We don't know. Do you know? Have you met?
A bear.
Mm.
I don't know. I
don't know.
definitely
Is
feel like there's
she magic
something
bear?
more going on with her, but I'm not sure who we would need to ask. And Schooner, no offense, I don't know if that's necessarily you.
Well, it's not like I'm a font of information for free, but I got a lot to worry about tonight. I don't quite care about rumors getting around that just about everybody can find out if they just worked in the castle for a week.
Hey, there's an idea.
So I do not know you, but who want this queen's possession? Who are you sell to? Please ask.
Do you have any of the stuff that you got off the ship? Are you holding it? Is it nearby, or is it just...
I've tucked it
probably be in my
away.
bag.
Yeah, I've hidden them away.
Okay, so he can't see you holding it.
Yeah.
No.
Well, he looks to like the slightly floating remains that are kind of still making its way down the river. Well, they pretty much tossed her entire place and tossed everything on that barge. She wasn't a poor man's wife. She was thrifty in certain ways. If there's stuff on that barge worth money, it was worth going after. Of course, it's now kindling now, but I wouldn't have mind going after it. In fact, that's why we were going after it.
Yeah.
But for who?
Mama.
He eyes you up a bit, and then he frowns. Who's asking?
I know it's Big Mama.
I am a crusader of the goddess Ilistray, and I am here to help with good things. If you sell to good person, then I will help.
He looks straight at Izzy and says, "Good people, huh?"
Yeah, I've been working
like
on
easy, good person.
So, a dear friend here has a very limited view on what makes a person... Well, actually, no, we haven't really got into it. I can tell you right now, she's still learning the ways and the ropes of the city and determining here in Shawclaim who the villains are is always fun time. So...
Look, I'm not gonna argue morality with some priestess right now. I got to report back to Big Mama what's going on. She's going to want to find some other big ticket item this year before it all goes to hell, because our market's crashed because of the new Dark Queen of the West.
Yeah.
If you're
Who is
looking
Big
for...
Mama? Who is this?
He narrows his eyes again. Who's asking?
I am a priestess, a
Do-
crusader
do-
of the goddess.
Do I know? Do I
Uh,
does Izzy know who that is?
yeah, Big Mama is... Izzy, you would know that these goblins types, it's kind of like an underground little mafia thing.
Yeah.
They have it's kind of like the urchins, but even more. They have goblin servants kind of like just about everywhere. Servants or people just in jobs just about everywhere.
Yeah.
So they hear and deal in a lot of information. But they do big scores like this. Like they probably knew about this barge way before, because the Queen's trial's been in the works for a little while now, and so they knew about this send off of her items for a while now. And so they had planned on grabbing it and then staging a sinking before it could get to its destination to be destroyed, possibly by somebody who's better at destroying possibly dark magical things. But it sounds like from what you got out of Schooner, somebody in the council suggested that they burn it all, and that would be symbolic as well as easy to get rid of things. So it's only that the burning was recent, but they had planned on sending this stuff elsewhere.
Okay.
I want to be take to Big Mama. You take us. Yes, Big Mama. Big Mama
Schooner raised an eyebrow.
Is a
What?
good person.
I'm gonna a little. So just 1 second, just a little side bear. Mina. I'm pulling you off to the side a little bit.
Yes, easy. What is?
I'm just very curious. Why are you interested in maybe seeing Big Mama?
Big Mama want the Queen's things.
Yeah.
Maybe is a reason that help us know what is why Queen things.
Because it would be worth.
And why she become evil demon thing.
Well, I don't think that she. So I think that maybe there's. So I think Big Mama just knew that this stuff would be worth a lot of money, right? I don't necessarily think that she has some big insight into that side of things, right?
I mean, I'm no appraisal or anything. You guys aren't very far off. He's
No.
not an idiot. You guys are sidebarring right next to him, basically.
Yeah.
He goes, well, I'm no appraisal, individual, but I can tell you right now that if I had my hands on some of that stuff, there's people under Big Mama who could tell you what it was worth. But as far as I'm concerned, everything's at the bottom of the river now, if not further down by the rapids.
We're less interested in knowing see, this is where I'm at, right? Less interested in knowing the worth and knowing the purpose.
He pauses. Did you get something off the boat?
No, but
I
like the
speak up
boat's
really quickly.
just. Oh no!
Wait.
The boat's just
I
sunk out there.
reach
Like we could still go diving
bag.
for something.
I reach into Izzy's bag and I pull out all of the burnt shit. And I go, we found this burning.
Oh
He
yeah,
has found this. It's
perfect.
helpful.
That's very good.
You?
Scooter
Is
moves
worth-
closer, and in the light of your mediocre fire, he looks at some of the burnt stuff, and he kind of scrutinizes it for a minute, and it is like the burnt pages. One of you, I can't remember which one, did actually salvage a little bit of burnt pages, and only lost like one of them. But he looks over it a little bit, and he goes, well, it's barely readable, but these are test answers from the Scholar test, like the big one coming up, the one to decide
Oh.
Scholar Noble titles. Kind of a big deal if you got test answers on you.
See, we found something valuable.
But
Mm.
again,
Wait, you were on that ship and all you grabbed is some ashy paper?
it was on fire.
Yes.
That's all you grabbed was some
Found.
ashy paper?
We have found this valuable test answer for scholar bastards.
He scrutinizes it for a second. Yeah, if you needed the answer to 48B and only 48B.
Yes, is important question. 48B. No, I know too.
There was a very big pile of stuff. It was very hard while everything was on fire to determine what was good and what was not so valuable.
I need all of you to give me deception checks.
Oh crap.
Because all of you have now talked to him to give him an excuse.
Oh. We're all just lying our asses off.
Yeah.
Mine's not technically an excuse. Mine was I couldn't find shit.
Oh, I accidentally did advantage. Sorry. Take
You're
the 13. My bad.
Sophie was telling the truth, so it's fine. She's not really under. But the two of
I
you
was on the struggle bus, okay?
I mean, I didn't say we didn't find anything else. I just said we found these very important answers.
That's true. It's not so much a lie as not the entire
Lie by
truth.
omission.
All right, then, Izzy, it's all your fault because no, I'm just kidding.
Fair enough.
He frowns and he says, "You know, we had our claim on that thing. So if anything was found on it of value, and you didn't tell your so-called allies, there'd be trouble with Big Mama. You know that, right?"
Fine, you've got me. And I pull out the patchwork bag. This was the other thing that we got.
He takes it and he looks over it a few minutes, and then he whistles lowly. He goes, "Well, I mean, thanks for your honesty, but I got 2 of these at home." He tosses it back, so maybe you can use the bag of holding for later. And you actually have a bag of holding.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
When I tell you, my whole
Oh.
body just stopped just now. And I'm going to try very hard to like pull that in, that excitement, because I don't want him to know that I'm very excited about it. But God, I'm so excited for it. Okay.
He goes, "That's all you got off the ship?"
Yeah.
I didn't get anything off the ship.
Fee can keep telling the truth
That
because
is-
she didn't
that is
get checked
true.
in.
I'm just letting Fee say that. I'm not saying another word.
Okay.
Just kind of looking at
looks
my
over
bag.
you.
There's a burn and they gone. They have water. Is
He looks over you a few more times, kind of narrows his eyes, but then shakes his head as if to say like, it's not worth it, because like nothing on that ship he doesn't think was like super helpful. Like much of her stuff was cursed, but again, her stuff was kind of stripped too from her. So he's like, "All right, well, Big Mama's probably going to be in contact with you at some point again, because we got to make up for this blunder. That was there was a lot riding on that, but you guys should probably get back into the city before the guards come picking up any of the pieces."
Oh shit, yeah. How like dry are we?
It's been about what 20, 30 minutes,
Oh, yeah,
so
That feels like
you
it'd be
probably
fine.
dried off a good chunk.
Okay.
okay. Dry enough to be stealthy.
I mean, do you have a reason to need to be stealthy?
I don't know. I want to climb that wall.
Oh,
No, let's not do that. We'll just go through the gate. We don't look suspicious. Mina dear, we could just walk through the gate. We don't gotta do all that. Listen, we don't want to waste our
There's a
rolls.
nice
We still
wall.
have
I
to
climb it.
we
It's
still have to
fine.
convince my mother that we didn't do anything wrong. She's over here just like pulling these rolls out anywhere you want. Like we're still gonna need to tell my
Fine.
mom.
We are best friends. You trust me.
it's best friends.
He
with their
met
mom.
my chicken.
Wait, has she met the chicken?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't
I
remember.
remember.
Chickens
I
at the house.
showed off.
Oh yeah, oh
showed
yeah.
the chicken off a whole bunch when we were out doing errands together. Block all the papers.
Oh yeah. So Schooner slips back into the shadows, and you guys are left alone again. But he did say that you guys might want to skedaddle somewhere, because guards are probably going to just do a patrol at the river just to make sure nothing was beached.
I like that you used the word skedaddled. That made me very happy.
I enjoy the word.
It's good. Okay, so now is time I climb fence?
You do not need to climb fence.
Wall?
We just walk inside the city.
Yeah, we're just gonna walk
Oh.
in. We're just gonna walk in.
Fine. Boring is fine.
Okay.
Okay, shall we go? Or do you want to look at other things we got here?
No, let's go.
Okay, so you guys head back into the city. You kind of there's like a river entrance on your side because it's got docks and that kind of thing. So you guys walk back in, trying to not look suspicious as you walk past the guards just at the entrance. I guess you are just going to look like you are coming back from traveling.
Yep.
That you weren't on. Oh yeah, you weren't singed in various places.
Yeah.
I
I'm
look
clothing.
weird
I'm
anyway to them. It's
sticking
fine.
to the shadows, like we're still not making it super obvious that like I'm like kind of hiding, but like definitely not walking like full blazings, like all cocksure. That's not going to be the vibe, right? Like I'm
Okay.
behind Mina, like using her to
Who
kind
is
of like
cocksure and
no,
Yes.
who like just behind the biggest person I can find, like kind of tucked into them, almost like a child. So
He is technically larger than I am. But I am gonna not care at all that I look like how I look. So please feel free.
Okay, so you guys walk back in. You're back in the city. People have dispersed after the barge burning. It's later in the evening now, so it's starting to get quieter in the city. Are you guys gonna head anywhere besides home? Or Izzy's home?
no, that's where I'm going.
Mm,
I
Yeah,
think
I
I'm
would
gonna
say
wait.
just heading to the safety of like Izzy's house to talk and figure out what we found.
I need to
Okay.
know that Harold is fine.
All right,
Very
so you guys
important.
head back to Izzy's house. It takes a while
Oh.
to get back across the city. So it's probably around midnight by the time you trudge back home. And are you gonna try and sneak in?
Real quick before we do that, Izzy,
What?
what about your boat?
Fuck.
Oh,
Okay.
Uh,
I want to dump this shit off first though, because I don't want to be like dealing with the boat and if they search us having this stuff. So we still need to go in and get this dropped off, and then I'll probably actually. I kind of want to go in through the window again.
I will pick you up and throw you.
I wouldn't even really need to be a toss
Do
at that
not
point.
throw the halfling.
I will pick up and throw. I'm good with throw.
Yeah, so let's just get in there.
Don't throw the halfling.
I need everybody to give me an acrobatics or athletics check.
Oh goodness.
Boom! I throw.
Oh no!
Shit.
Damn it!
So,
I have a +4, and I still ended up with a fucking 7.
Yeah, I got a
God
6,
damn it.
so I did even worse than you.
Oh, guys.
Mina,
You throw very well. I land very
I do
bad.
very well.
Mina. Okay, so Mina,
I
you're
get
using
startled by
you're
the fact that she hits the
so
window.
you're using that athletics to throw Izzy, correct?
Yes. And
Okay.
then I will also throw Fee. Throw both.
You don't need
Into
to
the
throw
window.
Fee. She already did acrobatics. Okay. So first up is Izzy, who is smaller, so she is toss through this window, which
Yeet the
I'm
halfling.
which I'm hoping is open.
Well, they came out of it earlier, so it's still open.
Was
We
that the
came
same
out
trip?
of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you managed to sail through this window, but you crash into your bedroom, and JD is there and instantly starts barking because which also wakes up Harold, who is there.
God
And so
damn
it's this cacophony
Everyone,
of barking
everyone,
and clucking,
calm down.
and there's feathers everywhere. And then
Ugh.
suddenly, in the middle of that, Fee also sails through the window
Jeez.
and just crashes into you. And so you're in a pile of
I wasn't
people.
expecting to be picked up and yeeted, so I'm like, not you. I'm like, oh god, I have no control over my body.
So you two
You
are
are
trying
painfully in.
and yeah, and then Mina, give me an acrobatics check to get in the window yourself.
Jesus Christ.
shit, okay.
Shh, everybody.
Succeed.
And so Mina manages to just hoist herself in just fine. Just this
You are very
gangly elf.
welcome. I get you in
And
a
Harold
Oh,
is
God
so
damn it.
Harold is flapping his wing. Lights go on in the rest of the house, and you hear people stomping down the hallway, and suddenly the
Immediately
door
go to
rips.
lock the door.
You hear some jiggling. Is the door? What? Why is your door locked? What is going on in there?
I'm sorry, Mom. We had a really bad. You know when you start playing Monopoly and you just absolutely go
JD
crazy.
is barking his
Yeah.
head off.
So
He fell off bed.
Yeah,
He fell
we
off
were
bed.
arguing about
Ouch.
who had boardwalk and who was supposed to pay for what for boardwalk, and knocked the board over. The board landed on the dog's tail. We're gonna get him quiet down. I'm so sorry. Please just go back to bed.
I keep doing this to you guys. I need Mina and Izzy to give me deception checks.
I need to stop talking.
Ugh. What are with these
He
rolls?
fell off the bed. She's
There's a
fine.
long.
That's it.
There's a
Can I-
long.
Real quick, can I try and do animal handling to kind of soothe JD? I know he's not
Yeah.
technically an animal, but just some kind of
Right.
check
That's
to
fine.
try and
that
calm
check
him
still
down.
applies to that. Yeah, you're fine. So you
Okay.
so you
23.
manage to calm JD down, who is like damn near blinking, but he manages to not. But Harold is calm, but he's like sitting on top of JD's head, just kind of like really alarmed. There's an egg on the ground rolling around.
Patting JD with
and-
one hand and Harold the chicken with the other. It's like patting your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time. Because suddenly there's an egg in my hand, and I'm like, what the? So I just pass the egg to Mina
Oh,
and go
good.
back to petting the chicken.
There's a long silence outside the door, and then you hear not your mom. Isadora, I need you to open the door.
Who is it? Is it my dad?
That's your dad.
You
Okay.
haven't met him
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Fuck, okay. I kind of look at everyone with like, and her face reads like, just please, everything you have, don't make it worse. That's all that her expression is as she looks to you guys, and she kind of like looks very down as she goes to like. She really doesn't want her dad to be disappointed in her as she goes to open this door for him.
Got you back easy. It's fine.
So you open this door, and standing there is your father, who looks like he was roused from bed, which isn't the greatest because he's sick. And so he's a little bit taller than Mira. He looks a little bit more filled out. Probably the bed rest is not doing a lot for him. But because he used to be a halfling that walked around a lot to check on his ships, to check on his manifest, to go back and forth from his office. So as of late, he's lost a little bit of that definition. But Edwin looks like he's kind of aged a bit since he's had this sickness come over him. He's kind of got like ruddy grayish hair, so it's got like a mix of like a little bit of leftover red, but a lot of mix of silvers in there. He looks a little tired. He's got bags under his eyes. He's leaning. He's not like on a cane or anything like that, but he is leaning a little bit against the door frame as he puts a hand on his puts a fist on his hip, and kind of tries to give you the papa stare. It's not like super mean or anything like that, but it is concerned. And he looks over the group, who he has not met. He's gotten the lowdown
Hmm.
from his wife, but he has not met any of you. But he looks over the group and Mina, sorry, Izzy. Uh, Now, unless you just took a night swim in the bathtub, you might want to explain as to what's going on with the river kelp on some of your friends, as well as why you look like you're still in traveling clothes when you're supposed to be in bed.
Can you come in to the room?
He looks over you for a minute, and then he looks to his wife and he gives her a nod that it's okay. And because you can already see like these two little ginger mops trying to look around the parents to
Hmm.
see what's going on. Even though your brothers aren't like tiny or anything like that,
I have a brother
they
and a
are still.
sister.
Oh, sorry, the brother and the sister.
Yeah.
They're not. They're still curious little children in a certain sense, even though there's teenagers, and they're kind of like, oh, what's going on, did sister get in trouble, kind of thing. So he motions for Mira to take them and get them, back to bed and out of this, because it's not their concern. um Mira seems to like sigh in a little bit of annoyance, but then she nods and turns and shoos the brother and sister away. And they kind of look like, "Oh, come on, we didn't get to see anything." And they are on their way. And then he steps inside and looks over the four of you, um, wondering what's going on. But he doesn't like press anything or get mad at you or anything like that. He is basically leaving you the floor to tell him what's going on.
I kind of look to both the girls, and I then look to my father, and I say, "So, Dad, you know how I've always talked about like wanting to go on an adventure and like just have that freedom and explore some big things, right? And how I've talked about constantly almost about how I don't necessarily trust the people that were the king and the monarchy that are running what's going on. Like we've seen how that affects things, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you right now, and I hope you know that it's because I trust you with this. I trust you with everything that's been going on, and I don't want the family to suffer for me doing what I think is the right thing. You've always told me like to go with my gut, right? And that I'm smart enough to figure it out. So, okay. Is that all right? Can you just listen to what I'm going to tell you and then at the end maybe respond? Maybe let me get it all out?
He nods.
Okay. So, what was it, 2 nights ago now? At the Queen's execution, I saved this dog. JD.
JD barks.
Yeah, and he looks a little rough for wear right now. But he's the Queen's dog that they're looking for. But I don't think that he, like, I saw the other animals, and this dog, I think, hadn't been influenced by whatever was influencing them. And I think that something big is going on in the court. I think that the Queen was wrongly accused. And I think that we're we're close to something, figuring out what's going on. And before you tell me that I shouldn't be concerned about it and we've got other things we need to worry about, I feel like this does concern us. Like, I feel like if nobody else is going to look for it and nobody else has been looking for it and we keep stumbling into it, how is that not our destiny? If we just keep running into things that keep pulling us in that direction and pulling at those threads. And I'm old enough now to start making my own choices when it comes to that kind of thing. And I'm gonna I gotta see the end of this. I feel like there's something here. And I'm gonna try and make it so that everything's set up before we leave, so that mom or you really only need like minimal interactions with the businesses for them to work. And I'm going to take care of those sorts of things, and I'm going to make sure that everything's all right. But I've got to keep looking into this, and I am just going to completely come clean with. We were on the fire barge tonight, and I found some things that we're going to look into to keep figuring out what really happened, what was happening, because I think there's some shady shit going on. And I know that you're probably upset with me about it, and that I should have just come clean to everybody to begin with, but it's hard to do sometimes, especially with you all. Like, I don't know, I feel like there's not a lot of opportunity to be my own person and make my own mistakes without the fear of just disappointing you guys. So
Edwin looks you over for a long while. It's as of late you haven't really gotten to talk. You've been out doing your job a lot, trying to keep the family in the life that they've become accustomed to, as well as keeping how you're doing that a secret from both your family and his associates. And it's obviously been a lot, but you guys haven't had a lot of time to talk. And so this is the first time in a while you've had kind of this heart to heart, and it's a lot for him to suddenly take in, because he's kind of getting the sense that you haven't been on the straight and narrow when it comes to the merchant trades kind of thing, but he doesn't seem to be judging that at the moment. He takes in a deep shuddering breath, and you kind of, even with the breath, you can kind of hear the rattle there. Like, it's that you can hear the liquid kind of in the lungs kind
yeah,
of thing.
like
But he
little
pulls him.
as she was going through that talk too, like little streams of tears that are just falling out of her face just a little bit.
He pulls himself up straight, which is a lot for kind of the pain he's been dealing with lately, but he seems to have this need to kind of present himself as he once did, which, as a halfling, pulling himself up straight is just taller than Izzy. And he looks over her, and then he looks to all the maps on her wall, and kind of the lines that she's made about where she wants to go, what she wants to see, and that kind of thing. And then he looks to the friends that are also in the room, this strange mix of people that he's never seen in his house before, and possibly not even seen in the city before, to a certain extent, especially like a light drow and somebody who it doesn't quite look like the villagers but does, and this dog and a chicken. And he's not quite sure what to make of the situation. And it's one of those things where it's like a dawning moment where he decides, and you kind of see it, is that he doesn't understand the situation, but he understands what it means to you. So he nods after a second, and he looks you over and says, "Izzy, Isadora, I never meant for you to be trapped into the same world that I have cultivated for this family. I wanted you to join me on the docks and work in my office, but at some point I might have lost sight that you have your own path to go. And maybe I pushed upon your mother to keep you on that path as well. But something's going on, and you've probably seen more of it than I have. And I can see that look in your eye that this is something you're going to have to follow. So don't worry about the family. Don't worry about me. I'm not dead yet, and I think we'll be fine. But if this is something you feel that you need to look forward to and search after, your father's here to help whenever he can.
Thanks, Dad. And just gonna kind of like hold on to him, like being careful, because like every little struggle that I see him have.
Oh, he
like,
completely ignores all the pain and he
cuts me
gathers
just
you
a
up and he
little
like
bit.
hugs you really tight.
I have tears in my eyes in the back, and I'm just like patting Fee's head, like, oh, he's so sweet. He's so sweet.
I am gonna go
Now-
on an adventure.
Now, what you're facing sounds dangerous, and as long as you stay as safe as you can, that's all I can ask. And as your mom would say, we don't deal too much in politics, but if we can help you, we will. But if all we can do is say goodbye for now, then we can at least offer a proper send off.
Okay. Honestly, it just feels good to not have to lie anymore.
I mean, we'll be talking about some trade options available if you continue down that path, but for now, it's obvious that there's something a lot more important than merchant
Well,
options.
if I'm headed in places that we need, like, we can make it work for both. It could technically work for both things, right?
Izzy,
Yeah. Yeah, Dad.
we won't be having our name on stolen goods, but this is a talk for some other time. It appears that you have something much bigger on your plate than goods.
Okay. Okay. We might be leaving tonight to start this trip. And I don't know how long we'll be gone for, but I love you. And thanks for just being you.
Well, can you at least tell an old man where you're going?
Yeah. And she's like kind of pulling herself together, and she goes to her maps and pulls out one of her original copies that's hopefully not too destroyed from JD's shaking earlier.
Yeah, all the water.
Yeah. And she puts it across her desk and she says, I think that we are headed to Hearthwood. Probably take the Cass upriver. Feels like that might be the fastest way. Unless you know of a better path.
No, the river's gonna get you there the fastest. But Cassiopeia might have a little bit of a hard time. There's the Embervale River is not the kindest in certain areas.
Do you think...
Now, what has you going that direction?
I don't want to say too much. I don't want you to have to... I don't want... If somebody comes looking for us because of what we're looking at...
And he puts up his hand as I understand.
Okay.
Izzy, I will remind you of the things you got from that ship. One of you grabbed a ledger, and the other grabbed a shipping manifest.
Yeah, I have the manifest.
The ledger is kind of damaged, but the shipping manifest is still intact. And your father might know more about it than even you.
I know I don't want to get you too involved, Dad, but I do have something that I feel like you would be an expert on. If you could maybe help us with that, if you're comfortable with that.
Well, of course. And he motions for you to show him whatever you got.
I'm going to pull out whoever had the ledger, I think maybe that would help.
It's me.
All right, let's do both.
Here,
We'll
you
show
want
him.
to look this too?
Yes, let's do both of them.
And I hand it. I'm still wiping tears off my face because that was really sweet. And I hand the ledger.
You lay it out on the desk, and it is the ledger is kind of burnt and a little bit water logged. That one got damaged on the way off, but the shipping manifests seem to be in place pretty well. The shipping manifests they show nothing too specific, like things were kept vague on purpose, and he seemed you see Edwin kind of seems to scrutinize this a little bit, and he says there's codes for different objects in here, but it sometimes happens with manifests that are supposed to be kept secret. There's certain things here that aren't the normal codes for like grain and flour and that kind of thing. Those are normal codes. There's things that I've never seen before, but there's things that you can tell where they've come from. There's various shipments from Red Vein in the mountains, a couple from the Claw Coast, and a whole lot shipments coming from the Chimney Valley, which he would know a little bit about because some of those areas are you can get to on the rivers. Like a little bit of the Chimney Valley and the Claw Coast can be reached on river, but the Red Vein cannot. You'd have to do that all by foot or by mount. So he knows a little bit about those kind of areas, but he says these the things that they're transporting all seem to be in code, and these are not codes that I recognize. Somebody did not want it known what was being transported.
But the three places for the things that encode are Red Vein, Claw Coast, and Chimney Valley.
Yep. And the Claw Coast and the Chimney Valley is just basically an area of the continent. And while the Red Vein actually is a city. That's the city in the mountains. And so he take a little jaunt over there. But he points out that the Chimney Valley can be reached on the Rosewater River, and the Claw Coast can be reached on the Ashen River. But those two are just areas with various villages and that kind of thing. So it's very possible that these shipments were river docks that were then taken from certain points and taken to or from different villages or towns, while one came directly from Red Vein, so which is the dwarven city in the mountains.
Is he?
And then he.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, and then he takes kind of what's left of the ledger. He sees the scorched marks on it, and he kind of gives another kind of like little frown, like he knows where this has been and why you guys have it. So he's warring with himself to get like Dad angry again.
I already
but
told him about the boat.
I know, but it's another reminder that he has to.
Yeah.
So he just like kind of does like a grumble that ends in like a little bit of a cough, and then he just moves on. And he looks it over, and he says, "Well, this one, it's hard to tell whose this was, but it's various monetary trading. Nothing of great importance. Looks like some bits of the royal coffer. Not a lot to see, except there's a lot of transactions between someone named Augustine in Red Vein. What was purchased is hard to make out, and he kind of runs his fingers over a few things to try and move some of the smudges. And he tells you, all I can see is some kind of ore and something with sugar at the beginning, so it looks like sugar blank, and a few different transactions of those goods. But otherwise, I'm not entirely sure what else there is for you, dear.
This has been that's very helpful. Thank you. But so we're still and ladies, I still think the best place for us is going to be maybe going to Hearthwood first, and then maybe Redvane. It's the next city name, right?
Agree.
So got a couple of places to look into and figure out what is going on. But we need to get JD out of the city first.
He looks to the dog. He has not been outside, so he doesn't know what JD's thing is. And then he kind of like just takes a little bit of a half step away because he is allergic.
Yeah.
And he doesn't ask any questions, but he nods. And says, "Well, like I said, the river's the fastest way. You just have to be careful because parts of that river aren't the easiest for boats to get through."
Dad, I learned from the best. I'm gonna be fine.
You see him like kind of choke up a little bit, but of course that turns into more coughing. And so he tries to clear his windpipes
no.
and says, "All right, you can take what you need from the house and whatever you need from some of our supplies. But if you're going soon, just make sure you tell your mother before you leave. She'll worry. And feel free to lie to your brother and sister. I don't really want them to know too much about it."
Yeah, no worries. Okay. All right. Well, I think the sooner we leave, the better. So I'll tell Mom that we're going.
Alrighty. All right. So you finish up. Your father kind of heads back to his bedroom. Looks a little contemplative, but
Goodbye,
trying
easy
to.
father. Nice meet you. Goodbye.
That's
Thank
Edwin.
you.
Yeah.
He nods and then heads back into his bedroom to get some more rest. And you guys are left with. I guess it sounds like you guys are heading to Hearthwood by River.
Mhm.
Has been decided to a certain extent.
Unless
And
anybody else
as
wants to do something like a different path first. I know that it was Hearthwood for the knife, right?
Mhm.
That's
You
where it
need
was
to get
made.
your boat.
Yeah, no, we've got to do that absolutely first. Got to get the Cali.
so, are you doing that
Okay.
tonight or?
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, it'd be easiest to move JD in the dark because he's already sooty.
Are you leaving tonight?
I thought.
You do not want rest first?
Oh,
It's up to you. I can go whenever. I no sleep really.
I haven't really like I could go tonight. I'm still a little hurt from everything, but maybe a rest would be better for. And then I could tell our mom. I've already told her all of it, and she'd probably like to make us cinnamon rolls before we go. So
Perhaps we can rest long enough to still get an early morning start so we are still kind of in the dark.
like a twilight start.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, and we need to still tell your family. Well, I guess you did kind of tell them, didn't you?
Yeah. They already know that I am on an adventure, so there is no need to do farewells. We have said our farewells.
Okay. I need to tell the twins something. Fuck. Okay.
You hear from down the hallway, Mom, I want to know what's going on. Who were the strange ladies in her room? Hey, if she gets to go out at night, so do I, right? No,
You
we
can
both get to go
tell-
out at night.
Tell your sibling that you have joined my church and you are come with me to see the goddess. And then they will want to come with maybe and see my goddess.
Actually,
or
you
no,
know,
I don't know.
I
Do
think
not need them coming.
I think that what would end up happening is maybe they would be like, "Oh, just that."
Mhm. Oh, this is good.
Yeah, so that's
say you
perfect
will
actually.
come.
Izzy, are you gonna go out again? Can we come? Tell
No,
Mom we can come.
no. All right. Listen, you little shits. I am going to.
You've gone into the room
Join
and you're
my
telling.
church.
Yes, I'm going to. Yeah, that feels bad to even say, but I am.
You're gonna join a church?
No,
What are you religious?
I am going
will
to
dance
see
in the
the
moon.
church with her and decide if I want to think about it.
Well, is it a cool church? Can we come?
No.
Is it in town? Are you going
No.
tonight?
No,
What kind of church meets at night? Can we see it?
no,
I want to see it.
no,
Dance in the moon
no.
and dance.
Dance in the moonlight? That sounds cool. Izzy, why
will
can't we
dance.
come? Tell Mom you'll babysit us.
No, you're not coming. And listen, that's
Well, no, I'm a girl. Isaac can't come. Hey, yes, I can.
no.
No,
Am I
shut up,
helping you,
Hila.
Izzy?
Stop it! Listen, nobody is coming. Nobody is coming. It's just me. Some things are just for me. This was one of those things. We talked about this last
You
Christmas.
are too young.
God.
Two young little children. You no come, and you boy. So goodbye.
See, Isaac, you don't get to come, but I do.
No, she said.
No, you too young. You are little children. You no come, but later, maybe in a few years, you come. My church.
Elia looks really excited.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, can't come
And-
yet.
Maybe little boy come too in a few years. We will have more
Isaac
progress.
sticks his tongue out at his sister.
Man,
A
you're
few
so
years.
much better at dealing with him than I am.
You know, my church is good.
Yeah. Shit, actually, I
my
might
goodness.
consider religion.
I just like grab a pamphlet out of my bag and I hand pamphlets to both of them.
If it can
This is goddess.
if it can give you the
It's
strength to
strange.
handle
You
those
learn.
two fucking idiots, it must be really good.
Elia takes the pamphlet and starts reading through it.
You learn
Isaac,
whole pamphlet. You come to me in a few years. You recite a pamphlet, and I take you to church in the woods.
Isaac then steals the pamphlet and
At
tries
night.
to keep it away from her, and Elia is suddenly tackling him.
You both share. Is good goddess, and she like good. So you share. It look
By the
good,
end of
my
it, the
goddess.
pamphlet has been ripped in half.
You have to find a way mend it. Learn magic. Mend the pamphlet. You learn magic. You come to my church. Easy, let's go. They are busy with pamphlet.
Oh yes, perfect. I'm skedaddling out of there.
Come on, Fee, you come. Fee, come.
When did your church
Harold,
learn
come.
how to
Stupid
handle?
dog.
No, but
I've just been silent the entire time because in my head I'm like, if my brother has to come, I would have just said yes because that is the way of my people. But I am not the same people as these people, so I'm just going to pet the dog.
perfect. Okay. Can I take like a little bathroom break before we move?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you want to put it on pause, so we'll take a break right here, really quick.
We're good. Hello? Oh no. Guys?
Yeah.
Marker, we're good.
So you just need to finish up by saying either goodbye or at least tell your mom what's going on, and then you were going to leave tonight, or are you going to take a rest?
If we can, I don't know if I can emotionally handle like RPing my mom, telling her goodbye, but I would do that. All right, I would really like to just have that option right now.
Okay, so you guys are gonna rest.
Yeah, for a little
Yeah,
bit, and
if we
then
can rest for at least 4 hours, that would be really great for me, so I can go into a trance.
yeah,
And I think the resting so we can all kind of like get back to
hit
as
points.
close to full as we can because I'm still
Oh, that's right. She
a
didn't.
little roughed up. Um, but then leaving at like early morning hours, so before it gets too bright out,
Mm-hmm.
so that we have a little bit more leeway with JD.
Yep, that's the plan.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
Okay.
so you guys hunker down for the night, get in your pajamas, I guess, and JD curls up with you guys. Harold is sitting on top of somebody's head and seems to be content. So you guys hunker down for the night and take a rest. Night passes without much problems, and you wake up. Basically, your normal bodily clock gets you up kind of right as dawn is getting a little brighter, and your new day is upon you. Your hit points should be all the way back up, and your spell slot should be good. And you can decide what you want to do next.
Right. So I've got to go get my fucking boat. I need to go get my boat.
We can say goodbye to my best friend, your mom, and then we go get the boat.
Yep, that sounds like what we're going to do. Hey, kind of like stretches, puts on her, like she has these boots that she bought a long time ago specifically for like finally taking these trips. She starts getting her maps and everything together that she's going to travel with her, and puts on these like black kind of embossed leather boots that she bought for herself for her first like travel thing. These are probably a little older, like they still fit, but she definitely bought them when she was a little younger in hopes that she would grow into them completely for before she actually set out.
Okay.
That's really cute. I'm picturing it, and it's very cute.
So, all right. Let's go talk to my mom.
It's still early morning. Your mom is probably asleep. But as you head down the hallway, near the stairs is a kind of a small pile of stuff. It looks like there is a pack of food that is tightly packed and wrapped in like tight leaves and ready for travel, as well as some other necessities for the road. Um, and there is a letter on the top uh, that you see, and it's addressed to you.
I'm gonna open it up.
Um, and it is in your mother's handwriting. And she says, Izzy, your father told me that you'd be getting on the road, and I'm not entirely sure when you're leaving. That's I know you like leaving when all the rest of us are too busy, and so you kind of sneak out the door on us. But I think because you know that not the easiest to say goodbye. I packed you some of your favorite stuff, so there's some of those cookies and some nut milk in there for you, as well as some stuff that'll do you good on the journey. Um, I'll just probably cry too much if you try and say goodbye before I'm ready. But a mom, I don't think is ever ready to say goodbye to her kid. I hope you be careful, and just know that no matter what, we're proud of you, and we'll see you when you get back. Just don't take too long, and write to your mother, and be good. Love, Mom.
kind of clutch the letter to my chest, and then I go bounding up the stairs, barge into her room, and jump on her bed, with her still asleep, and give her a big hug.
Okay. Well, I left the letter, so you didn't.
Oh.
Oh goodness. But she gets over the surprise and she gathers you up tight. You're about the same size, so it's not much, but she gathers you up tight and hugs you.
Yeah. We kind of do
Hugs you.
something that we haven't done since I was a little girl, where we kind of press our foreheads together.
Yeah.
And I'll be back sooner than you know it. Thanks. And I kind of hop off and give like a little wave salute before heading out the door and back down the stairs.
She tries not to cry. She gives you a salute back and waves you off.
Okay. Well, let's have an adventure. Let's go.
So you as a
I
group
yell
gather
down the
up.
hallway. Goodbye, easy mom. Very nice. And,
Good boy, good boy. You all
Goodbye,
travel
my best
safe.
friend. Yes, we do more errands with my chicken when I am back. Goodbye.
Are you gonna leave? Give me a D4.
Oh yeah.
Me? Oh shit.
Sam,
Okay.
The egg roll.
One.
The egg roll.
Oh, the egg roll.
You Harold has left you one egg this morning.
I leave you this egg on this by the stairs, and you make a breakfast. It's from my chicken. Thank you for letting me say goodbye. I literally just set
My
it by the
chicken.
stairs. Like, for all I know, it's gonna fall down them, but I don't know. It's by the stairs.
She
It's fine.
with her elf magic just perfectly balances the egg on the stair rail, so that the moment anybody goes to even step foot on the stairs, it's gonna knock over. But until
You
that
are
happens,
I leave the egg. It's a nice gesture. You are welcome.
You don't hear anything. She's kind of just been like, okay, maybe if I stop engaging her, she'll leave.
oh, we have JD too. Can I take kind of like a cloak to wrap around, give him like a little cape kind of situation to hide him a little bit better?
So he's still somewhat sooty and inky.
Yeah.
So yeah, you wrap but you also add a cape to it. So he's a dog walking around in a cape.
Maybe that's
with
not-
a chicken
But
on him.
Does the soot rub off on the cape?
Oh.
Like, does it make it obvious?
I didn't even think about that.
Well, not really. It's kind of set in his fur for a little while, so it's kind of dry. He's probably not extremely comfortable, but
But
he's just
cute,
he
so it's
seems to be
okay.
happy to try and get outside because he's kind of done being cooped up.
I feel that. Okay. How about you guys go to the edge of the city, right? Like, my house is here, so I'm thinking maybe over here. And I will bring the boat to you.
The river flows this way.
Fuck.
The boat, remember the boat that was here, the barge flew this way.
Yeah.
So the river, and
Not
to get to
easy.
Hearthwood, you'd have to go this way.
Easy, I won't come with you in case is problem with bot.
Yeah.
I will come with.
I'm worried about getting JP onto the boat. Well, let's just all go.
He is fine. He will be fine. He is stupid dog. He's fine.
He's not stupid.
He goes poof and he disappear. If problem, he'll be fine. He's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I think.
I
Yes,
think
cool.
if we
He looks
explain-
fashionable.
I mean, the river in the city doesn't flow super quick, so yes, one person could possibly flow that way. But normally, if boats are going against the current, there's a lot more manpower or magic
Yeah.
behind it. So if it's just you, you're not going to be able to go back up the river very easily.
Yeah.
Which direction do we have to go to get to Hearthwood?
Down.
Okay, so
Let
where
me show
we
you.
were last night.
We're
look
up
at it.
here. We need to go down here.
Wow. Look at that cool map. Look at that. That's cool.
Okay. Yeah, no, alright, we're just gonna,
Okay.
we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna
And I think if
be
we explain to JD why we need to get on the boat, he will be more understanding.
I'm more worried about my boat not being there.
You see JD's tail wagging underneath the cloak. And he's staring at the door.
Good. It's fine.
So you heading out?
Unless, if you want, I can take stupid dog to bottom of
Stop
river.
calling him that.
The
I
bottom
can
of
wait
the
with
river.
him there. If he refuse get on the boat, I'll go in water. He do it, cause he a mean dog.
He's not a mean dog.
He like my suffering. The evil dog.
Alright.
You're so mean to him.
He's gonna throw you in the
I'm
river
nice to
again.
him. I offered it. I say I go in river. He get on boat. It's fine. We got plan. It's fine.
Alright. Well, let's load up and head out.
Okay, so the four of you leave your house. It's the wee morning hours, so it's still light, kind of like a mix between light and
And we're
dark.
being sneaky and careful and like I'm
I have
using
Harold, by the
all
way.
of my rogue powers to try and keep us out of attention.
Okay, and you're heading
Yeah.
to the spot where you left your boat?
Mm-hmm.
So underneath the bridge?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so you guys kind of skirt the river where there's less people, heading down to where the boat was. You do get past just about everybody. Again, it's early morning. The guards aren't doing too many patrols quite yet. You guys get down to the river where you tied up the boat, Izzy, and the boat is not there.
Easy.
Yeah.
Where is boat?
Yeah. Yep. This is what I was worried about being a problem. Okay. Okay. Okay.
So you know there's been patrols
Yeah.
and suspicious stuff that looks off probably has been taken.
Okay. I have a plan. Okay. Okay. I know I've got a plan.
And there is, Izzy, you know from your work, there is like a sort of impound dock kind of thing where unclaimed boats and that kind of like have been kept.
So, here's the plan. I am going to go to the impound lot for the boats. And I need you guys to keep taking JP just downriver. JD down, yeah, like from the Heathers. So JD downriver as much as possible. And
It's Scrubs, but thanks.
oh, there we go. We tried.
No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like maybe that's like where we kind of washed up. I feel like that's going to be a good spot for us to try and like sneak him across. Oh, fuck. I don't know. I want the boat, but like, what do you guys think we should do?
I mean,
I think
will
we
it
get boat.
be hard
Wait.
to get your boat?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's easy depending on who's working the desk. Like if it's Claudette, it's going to be difficult. But the other ones, you can usually sweet talk. Well, you know, there is.
Perhaps we go with to get boats. I tell about my goddess. It distract you get boat. It's fine. And they join my church.
Well, if Peter's working the desk, we're not going to have a problem at all. But if Claudette's working the desk, we'll just have to be careful. It's been taken
far is
before.
the- How far is the lot from here?
It is not just like at the edge of the royal encampment.
I mean, we will have to pass that way to begin with to get to where we were last night. So
Yeah. That's just a little bit
It's
more.
true. It's smart.
It's not far from where the barge was launched.
All
Because
right.
there's like some royal docks and some like guard docks, and that's usually where it's kept.
Yeah, let's just keep the party together. I don't know why I keep trying to split us up like Fred Rogers over here. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just we'll stay together and go there.
Okay, so you guys make your way around. You are kind of skirting against the river, trying to keep out of sight. You're doing an okay job, but the morning hours are starting to move, and it's starting to get lighter. You guys come across one of the many river docks. This one is outside kind of what looks like the guard garrison, where the royal guards are, and some of the scholar guards. And you see these boats that are probably what would consider like a river armada kind of thing. These belong to the guards to kind of patrol at night, or if the royal family needed to go somewhere, that's what these were used for. But off to the side is kind of like a less taken care of dock that has a few different questionable boats or boats that have been seized or something like that are waiting to be retrieved or looked after or destroyed. And Izzy, you do see among your boat that is kind of like locked to the dock with kind of like a metal bar nailed into the side kind of thing. And so you do see your boat from afar.
Okay.
And you, from your position, kind of trying to look like regular civilians, you see about 5 guards patrolling the dock.
Okay. I'm going to turn to my compatriots. All right. I really need you guys to just like kind of stay out of sight for a little bit. I'm going to go to the front window and see if hopefully Peter is working the desk today. I have had to get Callie out of here before, so shouldn't be nothing more than hopefully just a little fine, but we'll see.
Easy.
Hmm?
I think we come up with a signal if you need for me come up and help.
Yeah, no.
Because I can tell about my goddess. I can show my chicken. They will like it. I think.
I'll whistle.
Okay.
A whistle.
I listen for
like-
you whistle.
It'll be 2 short ones like that. So,
Okay.
Easy.
Hmm?
Before you go, and I reach out and I like put a hand on her shoulder and cast guidance. Just in case she needs to sweet talk a little bit more.
great. Okay. Man.
You've got that plus D4.
Okay. It's probably not the right time, place. I've really come to like trust and rely on you two. So I'll get our boat. And Izzy goes in to
You got easy. Good job.
see who's working the desk.
You see like a tall beanpole of a human with like this mop of brunette hair, kind of like freckled faced, a little bit buck-toothed. This is Peter. However, he looks a little bit more jittery than he normally does, probably because the kind of state of emergency that the whole country is in, and he has probably gotten some new orders as of late. So he looks a little tired because it is early morning, but he's shuffling papers around in his little wooden booth, while the guards are patrolling the dock behind him.
Morning, Peter.
Hi, Izzy. What can I do you for?
Oh, got the Cali locked up again. Parked it
He
in a
looks
no
behind
parking
him.
zone.
He looks through his paperwork. Peter, and pretty much anybody who works his desk isn't really a guard. He's kind of more of a administrative kind of guy.
Bureaucrat.
Probably like bottom rung of the scholars school kind of thing. Like he barely passed, but he doesn't quite have a noble title. But so like this is probably the best job he could get. And he looks behind him and he looks at his paperwork. Yours was the. Oh, we found Callie. That was underneath the Royal Bridge. That was, well, the guards took it in because there really shouldn't have been any ships down there at all. They kind of suspicious of why it was there.
Peter,
So
is
they
that
took
a
it in pretty quickly.
is that a new tunic?
He looks down. It's like It's got like scrambled eggs left on.
Aw.
Such an intricate design.
Thanks. No, not really new. And he like grabs a napkin and tries to like get, or a handkerchief and tries to get the rest of it off, and looks back to Izzy.
She kind of like,
uh,
I'm assuming there's like a stool on this side of the counter for halflings, or at least I
yeah,
hope so.
there's probably like a little step thing that people can avoid, and if they are tall enough, but if a shorter variety of race needs it, there is one.
So she's like standing up on the stool, and she kind of like leans over to the counter, and like kind of like blows her bangs out of her face. And so Peter, I'll explain to you why the boat was there. You know, their fire barge was last night, right? It's like a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I really just wanted a better look. It would have been, and she like tucks a strand of hair behind her ear. Nice to have somebody to share that moment with, but I was just by myself watching the fire barge, and I guess I got distracted and must have left my boat there. And I'm sure you can understand why I would just need to come and pick it up today, especially with my father not being well. I've got a lot of errands to run, and it would just really mean the world to me if you could help me out.
His like, you see his ears go red, and like he like nearly drops the packet of paper he's holding, and and he picks it back up and swallows, and uh, let me see. There is still a fine on here, but maybe I can. I mean, maybe your father can see to it later. Give me a persuasion roll.
You would do that for me, Peter? Okay. Could I have... Do you think that maybe my RP could get me some advantage on this roll? Okay.
Were you flashing him cleavage, or were you just...
I was putting all the schmooze I could. I was leaning over, like, using my elbows to push my breast
Didn't you
out.
get guidance?
I did, that's true. Okay.
That's
Persuasion.
Uh,
Oh!
okay.
And then a D4.
Hey,
21.
All right. Then with that D4, you're in luck. He looks behind him, and he looks to the guards, who kind of look as tired as he is. It looks like these are the morning crew that just got on. And he goes, look, they're really cracking down on it here, so I'll just send the bill to your father's house, and then you'll have to smooth that over with him and his account. He doesn't know what you're doing, so yeah, you can go get it out today, but make sure you don't leave it around there anyway. The guards are getting really antsy about stuff that they don't quite understand. So here you go, and he hands you the
I'm
key to
gonna
the metal
reach
bar.
past his hand as he's handing me that to touch his actual hand and like look in his eyes and say, Peter, this means so much to me. I appreciate how much you've done for me the last couple of times with this, and I'm not going to forget it. And wink at him.
Okay, just don't tell Patricia when she's back on, okay?
Of course not. This is our little secret. And take the keys from him to go get my boat. And as I walk towards the door, I turn around and just give him like a quick little and walk away.
He drops more of the papers he was holding. It's a mess. One of the guards walks over to try and help him. God damn it, Peter, come on.
On the other side of the door, I do kind of like Peter. And
So you walk down this dock. You're passing some of the nicer boats. You get to this impound lot. There's your baby. It's sitting there. Not too much damage. The metal bar they kind of had to stick into it did chip some wood. But it looks like it's easy to undo. But sitting right next to it in another part of the dock is a really nice boat, and you're not entirely sure how it got there. Looks much newer than yours, a little more sleek. It's almost got like this I don't know how they do it, that burnt wood, you know how they take wood and they like run a torch over it to make it look black. It's got like that kind of pattern.
her mouth is watering.
What?
My mouth is watering as you're describing the
Yeah,
ship.
and its sails are like this really deep gray, and it looks like it's made for maneuvering this river really quickly. Um, and on the side it says the Flying Dane.
Oh no. It appears I'm in that age-old debate between style and substance.
Oh, no.
You do remember your dad told you that this river down further way past the city is a little bit harder to navigate.
Does the boat, the Flying Dane, does it look bigger, or does it look like it could maybe handle those maneuvers better?
It looks sleeker than yours, as if it's easier to control. Yours has been specifically for going across this river and not going too much past the city. So this one looks like it's made for traversing this river a lot more than yours was.
Are there any guards watching me right now?
One's helping Peter out. A few are just milling about. You've obviously been given clearance to come this far, and your boat is right next to this one. Kind of looks like where you're standing. Where the bars are hooked to the boat itself. Seem to be blocked. The only thing you probably have to be worried about is when you start moving.
Would these guards don't know which boat I'm cleared for, though? Do they?
Peter would notice.
Peter would notice. Oh, Peter. I'm going to carefully making sure nobody's looking at me when I'm doing this, but I kind of want to test the key on the lock of the Dane.
Peter, being as flustered as he is, he handed you the whole ring set.
Oh, that
Oh.
darling man. Oh God, guys.
Because now the true thing is, do you go with your baby,
Mm-hmm. Well, I've always planned
or do
on
you abandon
upgrading.
her and take the faster shit?
You also don't know what's on the ship.
I had always planned on upgrading from the Cali.
That's true.
Okay, pause for a second. I really want some help here from you guys, because
Where are the other two? Are they still waiting at the edge of the dock?
Yep.
Okay.
When I tell you, I very much want to just take the Dane, but I know that that's probably just DM holding candy over a fire.
Possibly, yeah.
What do you think? What do you think? Just not your characters think. What do you think? What do you think?
From one aspect, I'm just okay. It has been mentioned that the traversing the river is not necessarily going to be easy,
Mm-hmm.
and so the better equipped boat we have, the better we'll be.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Would be stealing.
part of it is the what kind of chaos and possible trouble are we going to leave behind for your family to possibly pick up
Oh yeah.
if we leave your boat and steal someone else's fucking boat?
I mean,
And
but
the
your
also
dad,
the possible chance of us not even getting the fuck out of town when we try and steal this fucking boat.
They don't. Well, yeah.
I mean, but your dad did specifically say that he wasn't sure that your boat would work.
That's true.
He did specifically say it. Look at
So-
Leah.
I do have a question, Leah.
Does your question concern this alleged boat?
No, my question concerns the wording of the spell that I cast.
Oh, okay. Give it a shot.
So it says that once, like the target that has been given guidance can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice. Does that sound to you as if of its choice per se, or you have to pick one ability choice or one ability, and then that is all you can use the guidance for?
I believe the spell is you can roll once. It's like, hey, I'm doing this saving throw. Okay, that's a 15. I want
Yeah.
to roll my extra. She already rolled it.
Use my
Yeah,
guidance for
I
it.
just
Yeah.
wasn't sure if guidance could be used multiple times.
No.
It's like a coin.
No, it can only be used once.
Yeah, okay. Then we used
But
it wrong last
you don't
session,
have to
but oh well.
say you don't have to say you're using it until you roll that first one, as far as I consider it.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm
if
just gonna
she-
say then that we used it wrong last session.
We just
Oh,
kind
did
of
we?
let it.
Oh, maybe we used it right and I was
Like where
using it
it's
wrong. I don't.
stacked.
Well, no, going back and reading it, it does look like
You have to roll them at the same
it can
time.
roll the die before after making the ability check. The spell then ends.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like a one and done. It's a
So
cantrip.
we used it right this time.
No,
it was last
You
time
might be
we did
thinking
it
of
wrong.
bless, dear.
Mm,
Bless does stay on you.
Yeah, blessed out.
Guidance
okay.
is a one-time thing. Bless does stay for a certain amount of time.
well, then we used it wrong last session.
Yeah.
So whoops.
Yeah.
I thought
Oh,
you,
okay.
you
Did
didn't.
we?
You
Yeah.
didn't- oh.
We kept it.
I don't think
Because
we
she
used
was
it at all.
Last time.
No, she was using it
used it
every time
every
she did
time.
an
Yeah.
investigation.
Oh, I thought she was just burning herself every time.
Yeah, she was burning herself.
did that
most
too.
of the
Oh,
time.
okay.
To
Oh,
get
well.
advantage
Oh, well.
plus that, but oh well.
Okay.
Okay, never mind.
That
That question
brings
doesn't
me
count anymore.
Back to.
Yes,
I kind
back to the conundrum.
want to steal this ship.
I mean,
I
it
feel
kind
like
of sounds
Leah has
like
set
that's
you
the
up to
hint
do
we're
it.
getting.
Mhm.
I said no such thing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh,
You
Yeah,
can
sure.
do
the
whatever your
options.
little heart desires.
We can play
Your
Your
back
little
the
sentence.
video.
smuggler's heart desires.
There is no wrong
Oh.
or right answer.
We can play back
That's
the
what she
video
says.
later.
But you know that we're gonna get some kind of comeuppance if we steal that ship. But we also might like
Have some comeuppance
Crash
if we
the ship
take
if we use
Callie
the
and then
normal one.
possibly get stranded.
oh Leah,
What?
clever fox you.
Rawr.
Watching this.
Oh god!
The cat's
That's
just.
what foxes sound like.
Yeah, no, the cat's just watching the mice play while she figures out which one she's gonna eat.
Rawr.
It's all of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. So
Okay.
pros. Let's do pros. Pros taking the Dane. It's definitely going to be a better ship. It's probably going to survive on the river a lot easier. It's going to be a lot of immediate gain, right? In those departments. Cons. We're stealing the ship. My parents are definitely going to have to deal with that. That kind of sucks.
And we might also get chased by all the guard if
They don't know which
figure
one I'm
out that
cleared
we're stealing
for.
the ship.
Yeah.
So as long as Peter keeps his fucking mouth shut.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, if you act fast enough, and
I
Peter's so busy picking up the papers,
am going to do something
my only concern is us not making it onto the boat.
that I
Oh yeah, we have to get
definitely
on the boat.
think I'm just gonna take the cow. So Izzy just like is looking at that ship, and she's gonna like.
Have we recorded again?
We've been recording.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
I'm going to lean down and kiss the bow or like the side of the ship, and say one day, and go to the cow, and she says,
It gleams in envy in the morning light.
Okay.
Mm.
And
All right,
as you're boarding your boat, you can kind of, with the height difference, see the different things it has on its deck, and one of them is turn hooks, which are hooks that ships can use to throw out and grab debris to make them turn in rapids easier.
And you're not taking the new one?
I'm just
Fuck
being
it.
mean now.
Oh,
You do what you want, dear.
Do what
She
you
sees
want.
those and like kind of like gotten in trouble for worse. This isn't my ship, she says out loud to herself, in case anybody's watching her. Fuck. Oh, there you are, Dane. And gets onto the Dane and turns the lock.
Awesome.
So you turn this.
Are you tall enough to reach the wheel, being a halfling?
Amazing.
Yeah, you turn this lock. You engage. The guards aren't quite sure what's going on, because they don't have the records. So for all they know,
I
this
whistle.
could be your ship.
She's whistled.
All right, get on
They
my
whistle.
boat. Get on the Dane, my boat.
So you whistle really loudly, and Peter suddenly looks up, and there's two people heading past him, and he understands they're with you. So he's like, "Oh, okay," but then he watches them hurry across the dock
I
and
mouth
get
to
on
him.
the boat.
I mouth to him. I love you, I'm sorry. Gets on the boat.
And he goes wide-eyed, and he fumbles with the papers, as you push the boat away from the dock.
Yeah, just as quickly as I
and-
can. When I tell you that she is using every fucking ounce of her energy to get the fuck out of here as quickly as possible. Every trick she knows about making this go faster. She's shouting out orders to the girls. Raise that, lower that, we're going, man the ship forward.
So you get this thing in gear. This thing catches the water like a fucking fish. Immediately, it pulls away from the docks. Peter is shouting. The guards finally understand what's going on. You see JD suddenly go to the railing and bark loudly as the boat dips down and water cascades over him.
Peter!
Suddenly there's a fucking dog at the edge that looks very familiar. This boat catches the waves and the guards are yelling.
Peter, darling!
There's the dog, and this boat is sailing down the river.
Yeah. Peter, darling, don't worry. I'll write.
You guys are now on this ship and navigating as you see guards on the shore trying to like get down the line to yell at like their compatriots that there's something going on. And again, this ship is slipping through the waves perfectly. You possibly have a new love. And you see the city is whizzing by.
Look,
as you've stolen
Mina, look, actual chills. Ooh.
Yes, it's wonderful.
You hear shouts from kind of the edges of the river going, the dog! They've got the dog! And they've got, I don't think that's their boat! It's kind of like
it definitely 100% is my boat!
And you guys head out away from this dock and away from the city, and soon you're able to put the city in the rearview mirror as you head out away and past the wall, and way behind you are very confused guards and a Peter that is possibly going to lose his job.
Oh.
I'm gonna write like I think like after the end of this day, I'm gonna say it now because I want it to happen. But I'm gonna write to my father telling him that he should hire Peter.
Aww.
Oh, that's clever.
And as you put the city behind you, you see that JD shakes the cloak off himself, now free of water and ink, and proudly stands at the bow. As you leave the Charclaim district and pretty much your home behind, with a new boat and a new adventure laying before you.
I am ecstatic.
Do you guys? That's where we'll end it for now.
You just stole a boat.
It's perfect. It's such a perfect, beautiful ship. I'm kissing the mast.
Harold seems very excited.
And that's the end of the session. That's what I got so far. So you guys are on your way to Hearthwood
Wonderful.
with a stolen boat
Excited.
and a city that now knows that you took a boat and a very important dog.
Oops. Oh.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I don't even give a shit that the city definitely knows. I'm so excited about this ship now. I feel like it was all worth it. It's all worth it. I'll make it up to Peter later.
Y'all too might have problems coming back. I got no problems. You just don't know it yet.
I mean, I'm not from here. I don't even have to come back. I have my chicken. I'm fine. Like,
That's my chicken.
Even if I came back, I just use a different face.
Okay, I'm gonna stop here.
Oh, yeah. that's
Thanks for
nice.
joining us if you were
Bye.
listening.
Thank
you.
you. Hit like and subscribe.
Bye.